Hello, my Com 101 Honors class. I hope you know each other, or at least some people in the class. I know Denise Damasio is the leader, and she's a strong group leader. I'm assuming you have gotten together or will get together on Zoom so you can meet each other. That would be awesome. Or maybe you're in some other honors classes right now that are synchronized live. I put in for synchronized live for this class and it was rejected. There are no Com 101s that are synchronized live. The administration was not a fan. So some, I think English classes and maybe history classes have snuck in. Now there are great advantages to being live together. You really do feel you're in the moment, but there's also your real life, your personal life. Some of you might have children that you're taking care of, and there is no time during the day that you're just going to be home, or you have jobs. So I see the beauty part in not being synchronized live, but I miss the energy. And I know you need to get to know each other because you are in a cohort. You're in a learning community, the honors program. And Denise is a great leader, and she will keep you together. And this is not forever. This week, week 2, we will be doing our self-introductions on VoiceThread. If you are not familiar with VoiceThread, please take a moment to go to the e-resources, which is on our e-learning first site that you get to, up in the right-hand corner. Press on it and look for the course that says e-learning 101. In there are some instructions. Otherwise, go into week 2 and just click on the top bar under says self-introductions, and right on there was the title, VoiceThread self-introductions. Click on that, and I think you probably will figure it out. You'll see the words launch, and then create, and then share. And if you are lucky enough to have a computer with a webcam, you can do your video directly on your webcam and then upload it and make sure you share it, and then you're all set. I really do enjoy the introductions a lot. It brings the class to life. It gives it energy. And there is a discussion board this week, and there's reading this week. And next week you'll be doing your first speech, which is the In the News. And I posted the handout for it, but I don't want you to get confused. That's not for this week. That's for next week. And I will talk more about the In the News. Right now, I just wanted to say I'm thinking of you. Patriots won their first game, and I was watching the Tampa Buccaneers and the Breeze, the Saints, and Brady's doing awesome. So everything's good. I want Brady and Gronk to do awesome until they play us, and then I want the Patriots to win. So I'm a Patriots fan, and I still love Brady, but it was time for him to go. You can't stay forever. I wanted to talk to you about the grades and my grade book. The grade book that is embedded in the e-learning site has frustrated me for so long because it's not really made for a humanities class. It's made for more of a concrete class, like a math class or a science class, where the rubrics are very definitive. In public speaking, there's a lot of gray area. So when I'm looking at a student as far as evaluation is concerned, I produce my own rubric, if you will, or my own scheme or my own plan that has been working for years for me. And I go back to writing things out in my green book. I'm not the only teacher who does this. Many teachers will do both. They'll have the grades embedded in the course. But last year I had such a hard time with that. And it was giving the students a false sense, saying, oh, you get 100% for the course. And some students thought, oh, I got 100%. And then they didn't show up for 3 weeks. Well, then they look and they got a 66. It just frustrates me how that gets, it's usually the students who don't do the work for a few weeks who are looking at their grade, and the first grade they see, they jump on. You can track your own grade. So what I do in this green book is that I write all your names down, and the first thing I'm looking for is your attendance. And the first time you do Sometimes we have two discussion boards. This week, I think we only have one. But you acknowledge the discussion board, you contribute to the discussion board. I check it off right away. Showed up. Student was part of the course. The next thing I'm looking at is the introductions. Did the student do it? Did you use clean English? Did you sound like a college student? Was it genuinely your introduction? Was it creative in the sense that it would not belong to anyone else but you? Then if that's true, you get full credit for that. Just like you were sitting in the classroom when we go around the room. Some people are going to be more verbose. They're more into the conversation of it. That's fine. Others are going to be a little quicker and just answer the questions and move on, and that's fine too. So be yourself on that. So I checked that off. Then over here are the journals. There will be 6 journals because they're based on your evaluation of the student presentations. So we don't have any now, so there's no journal for this week. But there will be on the 4th week. So next week, all you're going to see is the voice thread, which is important. I don't want to minimize it by saying the only thing, but that's what you'll see. The next week, there'll be a voice thread for you to put up your video, your first presentation. And I thought of you today when I was watching the Patriots, and they were interviewing some of the players pre-game, saying, "Oh my goodness, what are you going to do without fans in the stadium?" And they said, "Well, we're going to have to get the energy from ourselves." And I said, "That's just like my students. But when you do your presentations, all of them, if you would like to have an audience, have an audience. I would prefer to do it in front of an audience. Safe people that you work with or live with. If you work with them at distance, at least 20 to 30 feet apart, because unless you're going to do your presentation with your mask on, but if you're not, and it's going to be live and the audience is going to be there, 2, 3 of your friends or colleagues, you're going to spit at them. And that's just not COVID cool. I do not mind if you're in a situation where you want to present that you feel more comfortable because it's smarter to leave the mask on. I don't mind that at all. I've had to do a presentation not long ago because in a semicircle, but nobody was, we were about 10 feet from each other. And I wasn't the only one that said, we're not far apart. So we all did our presentations with our masks on, and I got used to it. We adapt. That's one thing about human beings. We can adapt. And this is a small inconvenience compared to people who have suffered with COVID-19. We're up to almost 200,000. Really? Was that necessary, Donald Trump? Sorry for that political commentary, but I'm very upset inside. And I'm glad I'm having you, though. All right, so introduction. Attendance, intro, journals, and then the discussion boards are here. And then all your presentations. So you'll have 5 traditional speeches, and then a broadcast interview, which is you're going to interview somebody. So that'll be fun. And that's a pass-fail. They almost all are, because mostly the honest students do such a good job. I don't worry about A's or B's. If you do it and you do it to a high caliber, you're going to get a good grade. There's no reason not to get an A in this class. There really isn't. Participate, do the best you can. That's all I can ask. And be truthful, absolutely. And then the final exam. So on my grade book in this toolbar up here that I've created, it makes more sense to me. And I check things off. And let's just say somebody puts in a discussion board answer that's weak. And by weak, not full sentences, sentence fragments, not really saying anything, almost just repeating the question and then thinking they posted, I would put a check minus in my box. I would. And then in my notebook that I keep for every class, I would write the narrative. The narrative would say, did not complete the assignment. Yes, he showed up or she showed up for the discussion board, so they'll get attendance, but not fulfilling the goal of the discussion board. If you get too many check minuses, I will contact you. But one, I'm not going to say anything because everyone can have a bad day. And hopefully when you see the others, you catch on that you really should be being your best at this. In other words, give it your best shot. Doesn't mean you're right or wrong, but just contribute and try. I think that's all I wanted to say right now. You will. I can't wait for your introductions. I can't wait. They're precious to me. I'm hoping you've contacted each other vis-a-vis another class or through Denise Damasio. One of the things on your VoiceThread introductions that's not on anyone else's, I'm asking if you could share your honors experience with us, if you'd like to. I ask for favorite foods, hobbies. Those are just suggestions, right? But you could talk about other favorite things, movies, books, restaurants you like to do. What's the first thing you're going to do once everyone is has the vaccination and we are COVID free, or at least COVID controlled, right? And lots of the experience, like lots of, where's my mask? I have lots of masks. I have this cool mask that I like. This is my doggy mask. Much of the practices we're doing now, washing your hands, like routinely, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, depending where you are, not touching your fingers to your face, wearing masks out in public. This is really good health practices forever. I cannot imagine going to an airport, even once I'm vaccinated, without a mask. When we travel, I like to travel maybe, or at least 4 times a year I'm on a plane. Not now, but I'm 64, so I like to see the world, and I've been lucky enough to be able to travel. I see people in the airport with masks all the time. Usually, if I had to guess, they're from the Asian continents. The Asian continent, there's only one Asian continent, Asian countries, but not always. There are people that have always protected themselves against cold germs, the regular flu. This is just good practice. From all my decades of teaching, I feel very badly for all the students that sat in front of me that I more than likely spit on, at least once during the semester. When you're speaking, you swallow your saliva. Sometimes when you get excited, and this is talking not just you but everybody, it starts to leak out. That's when we spit. I try in the classroom to always stand well back and be mindful of it. Now, if and when we go back, and we will go back at some point, I will probably wear a face shield so that, because I know I'm a spitter. I don't know how far back they can get the class chairs, I hope so. I'm dying to see what BCC is going to do. I'm very impressed with what some schools have done, and maybe one of you or two of you are going to speak about that, and you're in the news. Very creative ways. I was hoping Bristol Community College was going to work really hard to open up classroom spaces, maybe knock down some walls, make bigger classrooms so we could have at least 6 feet apart, if not more, have one-way traffic, have hand sanitizers everywhere, change or at least update the air conditioning up above so we have good circulation. Yeah, it was probably going to cost a lot of money, but I just felt they were going to do this. They didn't do it. They're not the only school who didn't do it. Most of the K through 12 have done a better job than the colleges have, and I hope we get into gear soon. I'm not sure what we're waiting for, money, but even after we're vaccinated, I still think we should have all those health precautions in place for the rest of our lives. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, or maybe you don't have to do it the first day, but I'll see you within the next 7 days on the VoiceThread, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. And it's your introduction. You're really in charge of whatever you want to tell us. So thank you very much. So Patriots won. Brady looks like he's doing well. That's great. Everything is fine with Brady until we are challenged by the Buccaneers, and then Pats have to then Brady has to go down. We have to win. That's just the way it is. All right, have a good night, everyone.